They showed up at my front door with a heavy steel crowbar. My father was breathing hard, his face red and slick with sweat. My mother was already yelling, her voice a high, frantic shriek as their suitcases lay tossed on the lawn like discarded garbage. "You ruined everything," she screamed at me. I didn't flinch. I just stood there calmly holding my phone and dialing 911 as they banged on the door and cursed. I said to the operator, "Yes, they are on my porch. Yes, they are armed with what looks like a crowbar." It all started 3 weeks before this exact moment. The cruise, or what they called the Grand Family Getaway, was a week-long Caribbean trip with multiple group cabins, shore excursions, and a bottomless open bar. Everyone was invited. Everyone except me, not really. "You can tag along, my mother," Eleanor had said over the phone, her voice full of false kindness. She spoke as if I was a stray dog. She was reluctantly offering a home to "If you cover your own cost, we booked all the suites so you would be in an economy cabin." Then she had laughed, a sharp, cruel sound. "But you are used to that, right?" Used to it. Yes, I thought. I was used to being the one on the outside looking in. I hung up the phone, still polite as ever. "No worries," I told her. "Enjoy the cruise." And I truly meant it, until 4 days later, my phone buzzed with an alert. A massive charge of $9,900 had been processed on my card. The one I only ever used for emergencies, the one I had not touched in months. The charges were not subtle at all. A major cruise line. Multiple cabins, shore excursions, luxury spa packages. A high-end group rate for 6 people. And only one name on the entire reservation. My name, Wilson. They had not just used my card, they had used my identity. That was the exact moment the calm inside me cracked. Not loudly, not with a shout, but just enough for me to take action. I didn't scream. I didn't call them to confront them. I called my bank, filed a detailed fraud claim, and sent them all the documents, screenshots, and evidence they needed. They asked if I knew the person who had done it. "Family," I said, my voice flat. The bank representative paused for a moment, but she didn't ask anything more. She didn't need to. The fraudulent charges were reversed within a few days. But the real payback that required careful planning and patience, I waited until the night before their scheduled departure. Then I made my move. Quietly, I logged into the cruise account using the confirmation email they had left behind. Of course they used my email address for the reservation. I canceled my cabin, flagged the group booking for fraudulent activity, and submitted my ID as proof. I then requested a full lockdown on all the reservations. They had absolutely no idea what I had done, and no backup plan in place. They never imagined I would hit back. Not me, the quiet, obedient one. I could picture it so clearly. Them at the port in Miami, sunglasses on, confident and cocky, tugging their suitcases. Ready to drink for 7 days straight, only to be met by a security guard at the gate. "Sir, the reservation is under investigation." "Ma'am, the account was frozen yesterday. No refund, no boarding, no cruise." They texted, called, then radio silence, until this morning. My doorbell rang at 7:13 a.m. Opened the door. There they were, my parents, Richard and Eleanor. Sunburnt and furious, with sweat beading on their faces. "How could you do this to us?" My mother's voice cracked. My father gripped the crowbar even tighter, like he was about to fix something broken. I tilted my head slightly. "Do what, exactly?" I asked. "Refuse to be robbed." They did not like that. They didn't like the mirror I held up to their faces, because for the first time in my life, I was not playing the role of the silent child. I was not absorbing the hit. I was returning it. I stepped back and held the front door open wide. "Come in," I said, my phone still in my hand. "The police would love to hear your side of the story." That made them freeze. And for the first time in my life, I saw it. Pure fear in my father's eyes. Not because I was dangerous, but because I was not afraid anymore. When the officers arrived, I did not raise my voice. I did not cry. I did not tremble. I showed them the credit statements, the email trail, and the crowbar. They did not arrest them, but they did warn them, took their statements, filed a report, and told them to leave, and not come back without a lawyer. They walked off my lawn like a couple of trespassers. Not family, just strangers who had gambled and lost. Not just money me, that night. I poured myself a glass of wine and watched a live feed of the cruise. Ship sailing away from the port. Passengers were waving, music was playing, but my mom, my dad, my sister were not on it. There was no free ride for them, just silence and justice. You know what the best part of it all was? They thought I would be heartbroken, that I would feel guilt and regret. But all I felt was clarity. I did not ruin their trip. I just refused to fund it. For years, I thought loyalty meant tolerance, that to be family meant letting things slide. But the truth is incredibly simple. You do not owe anyone the weapon they used to hurt you. Not even the people who raised you, especially not them.